good afternoon, and welcome to this second assembly of term. Today is a brilliant day because we have so many more of our boarders now back in classes with us, and it really feels as if we're one school again. Down in the nursery, they're also welcoming the first babies ever to attend Rossall, so that's an exciting moment today as well. Today we're going to hear from Stephen Press talking a little bit about change. Adina Porovich is going to share with you some important notices and protocols and procedures and so forth. But at the end of this assembly, we have a little bit of a surprise because we are going to launch this year's house music competition, which is going to take a slightly different form than it has in previous years. But your first mission for the budding musicians in your house, well, that first mission is going to be announced this afternoon. So I'm sure we're very excited about that. I was thinking a little bit about a change as well over the weekend, and I was thinking that actually progress can sometimes seem to be very slow. The American composer John Cage wrote a piece of music shortly before he died, which it was planned to last 639 years. And a very important event happened in a church in Germany this weekend where this piece of music is being performed. This piece of music is ridiculously long. It started with a pause which lasted for no less than 18 months. But after 7 whole years, there's going to be a chord change, or there was a chord change yesterday morning. Now, the piece will finish long after all of us are no longer here, but perhaps what John Cage was trying to say, or to get us to think about, was about progress and about change and about development. So we look forward to hearing more from Mr. Prest about that in a little while. What I want to do at this point is to say a huge thank you for the fact that, despite the fact that we've come back and things are a little different, you have embraced what it is that we're trying to achieve as a school so superbly well. So you understand that we're trying to minimise the risk and we're trying to maximise the opportunities that you have to do all the wonderful things that you enjoy doing here at school. And incrementally, over the forthcoming weeks, more and more will come back into the mix. So it was fantastic to watch a Saturday morning of so many of you out playing sports. Football Academy, what an exciting training session. By the way, much, much more exciting than the England-Iceland match, which I watched in the afternoon. But we're gradually bringing more and more things back into play. So for day pupils, we're very conscious of the need to get you hot meals as quickly as possible, and that's something that we're actively working on at the moment. Boarding students, we're very keen to provide opportunities for you to leave the school site in a very safe way. These are things that we're working on. They do take time. Hopefully we're not going to be as slow as John Cage's 639-year piece of music. That's far too slow. It does take a little bit of time. But what I can say is that you have embraced everything that we've tried to do so superbly well. I could never have imagined that 400, 500, 600 young people could do that as successfully as you have done it. You demonstrate great responsibility to one another, and for that I'm incredibly grateful. We talk about social distancing, and people in society talk about social distancing, but what we really want you to do is to physically distance, but to be socially close and to enjoy all those wonderful friendships that I know so many of us missed throughout lockdown. Finally, from me, we do have a Headmaster's Academic Award, and that's awarded every week, and the first nominations for that I'm going to ask for this week. But I want to add something else onto that, and I want to add something which recognises the brilliant gifts that you have in so many other ways, in particular in the realm of kindness and your commitment to the community. So every week from now on, I want you to send me your nominations for Act of Kindness of the Week. And I think that's a wonderful thing to celebrate, because what matters as much as anything else is that you leave this school as kind, compassionate, caring individuals who want to make a really positive contribution to the societies within which you're going to live. I see so many acts of kindness from your staff and from you, and I think that has inspired and sustained us throughout much of this year. So I want a chance to celebrate that. So I hope you will embrace that and send me your nominations for acts of real kindness, which you know have either made a difference to you or made a difference to those around you. Have a fantastic week, as always, and until next Monday, goodbye and enjoy everything that this week will bring. Bye now.
Hello and welcome back to our first full week of term. Now that we are back in full swing, this is when the activities start. This is when those lessons really start to pick up pace. And now that you've got all of your resources, you found out where your classrooms are, you are ready to begin in earnest to make the most of the learning that's going to take place. Last week I focused very much on pupil protocols. This week I would like to focus on what's going to be going on behind the scenes and the various ways in which we're going to celebrate all that you are going to be achieving. It's worthwhile you knowing that much like last year, we're going to continue with the Headmasters Awards, and teachers will be able to recommend those pupils who have been working particularly hard or have done something exceptional to be recognised in whole school assemblies. Similarly, we want to hear of your significant personal achievements. There may be things that are happening outside of school. We want to be able to celebrate those with the whole school community. Finally, this year we want to give you the opportunity as well to nominate your friends. It may be that it's something that they've done outside of school. It may be kindness they've shown. It may be something they've done for their community and they're not very good at nominating themselves. Well, this is where you as their friends have the opportunity to celebrate what it is that they have achieved. As such, if there's something special that a friend has done, we want you to let us know. Either tell your form tutor, your head of year, or you can contact me or Mr. Quartermain directly to share what it is that they have done. We would love to hear about it. It's been wonderful to catch up with so many of you about your experiences during the summer and the things you've got up to. In particular, I want to draw your attention to 3 individuals who have had their own personal successes this summer. The first of them is Zenith Subba, who submitted an essay for the John Locke Institute competition, a significant and large competition that is open to pupils under the age of 18 and is run across the entire country. Thousands of essays are submitted and judges choose their favourite essays from each of a certain number of subject categories, including philosophy, politics, economics, history, psychology, theology and law. Zenith's essay was judged to be among the best and was shortlisted in the philosophy section. Congratulations, Zenith. Miles Davies, if you remember, for those of you who were with us last year, produced a poem as part of his lockdown repertoire. We were so impressed by this poem and praised him for it, but not only were we impressed, but actually this poem was picked up by a local rap artist who has created a single and put it to music and a video, which you can find online, and it's called Castle of Lies. Finally, Leona Donnelly has spent her entire summer challenging herself to produce a piece of artwork each week. She has shared these with the school, and her main purpose for doing it is to put a smile on people's faces. Is there anything more wonderful than that? Thank you very much for that, Leona. It certainly did. As this week begins in earnest, you're probably starting to think about how to make the most of your lessons. It's certainly one of the things that I mentioned in the previous assembly. I've thought about how I can break that down for students and make sure that really all aspects of those lessons are covered. We want you to make sure that you've got your equipment ready with you, not only your track and trace device and your face covering, which is part of your daily uniform, but actually making sure you've got all of the things you need, like your iPad, pens, pencils, books you've been given, and so on. When you're in the lesson, the thing that I really want you to think about is the fact that as soon as the lesson starts, I want you to dive straight in. Your teachers are travelling across the site to get to you, and so you will inevitably be in your classroom and ready to learn in your seat before they are there. So make sure that you make the most of every single minute. They will provide you with an activity, and that activity will lead seamlessly into what you will be doing for the rest of the lesson. It's so important that you avoid distractions and distracting yourselves and each other. The more that you focus and concentrate on your work, the more you will get out of that lesson. When the teacher's talking, I want you to encourage you to make sure that you actively listen to everything that's being said. Every single sentence makes a difference. You might be picking up on a bit of background. It might be about the fact that you are listening to instructions. It might be that actually there's something that somebody said that you don't understand. And at that point, it's really important that you clarify if you don't understand. Make sure that you say, that doesn't make sense, or please could you give us a bit more detail, because all of those things mean that you are then better able to answer questions and reflect on your learning in order to make progress. Whatever it is that you're set in the lesson, I want you to have a go. It's really, really important that no matter how difficult the task may seem, a lot of the time, getting going is the most difficult part. Once you get over the worry and anxiety of getting it wrong, a lot of the time, the tasks that you're set are things that you are more than capable of achieving and doing really well in. Fill every single moment of your lessons with purpose. It's time that you don't get back, and you will probably have found that having been away from learning in the classroom for such a long time, that actually learning at home and on your own is not the same as the privilege you have of being in a room with your peers and with your teacher, and the interactions that happen within that context that just don't happen when you're online. So make sure that you make the most of the time that you have in lessons, and make sure that you make the most of the learning that's taking place in them. I wish you a wonderful week.
Hello, I'm Mr. Press, for those of you who are new to Rossall, and I've been asked this week and today to say a few words about change. Now, as a politics teacher, change is something that my students and I often discuss in lessons. Politics is a living subject, and change, indeed sometimes quite shocking or unforeseen change, is something that in recent years has often appeared to be the only constant in our politics. Coalitions, frequent elections, Brexit, Trump, they've all given me cause to curse the constant changes as I have to yet again amend my resources. Indeed, change and attitudes towards change are, in a large part, the focus of the political ideas section of the course that I teach. Politics students study how conservatives, often very suspicious of change, still recognise that one must change to conserve. The so-called progressive ideologies of socialism and liberalism have pursued change, often radical and even revolutionary change. Indeed, the more fundamental views on change lie at the heart of these differences. Conservatives are very sceptical that the fundamentals of human nature can ever really change, while socialists and liberals tend towards the belief that human nature can be improved, even perfected. Now, we're often very negative about change, not just out of laziness, as is probably the case with me and my resources, but because we can perceive change as a threat. As human beings, we often crave structure, stability, and security. Change is the antithesis of that. It unsettles, disrupts, and it most certainly challenges us. Reflecting on what change means to me, I realised that over the past 2 to 2.5 years of my life, I've probably dealt with more change than I've ever previously encountered. I've had relationships end and relationships begin. I've lived in 4 different places and had 3 different jobs. Certainly, this has been challenging for me. In recent times, we've all had to deal with colossal changes to our lives. Changes that we've had little to no control over. And constant or seismic change can bring anxiety and stress, a feeling that one doesn't have control in a world that one might no longer understand. For many people, I imagine that recent months have felt very much like this. Returning to school, we experienced more unsettling and unwanted changes. The wearing of masks in class, boarders not having weekend passes, day students not eating in the dining hall. None of us like these changes. Yet, can we be too negative about change? Change, after all, is at the heart of who we are. None of us are exactly the same person from one moment to the next. We're always growing, developing, changing. Indeed, as a species, we are who we are, because our ancestors changed over time, individuals experiencing changes in physical or behavioural traits that allowed them to better adapt to their environment and therefore survive and have more offspring. And perhaps this idea of adaptation is key. After all, we cannot stop change. The person who tries to stop any and all change will be as powerless and impotent as Shakespeare's Lear as he threatens the terrors of the earth. So instead, we should perhaps recognise the truth in the line from a favourite author of mine. Giuseppe de Lampedusa's novel, The Leopard, has a character who states, "Everything must change so that everything can stay the same." This paradox recognises that, in order to preserve that which we value most, it may be necessary for us to accept that some things must change. If we adapt to the hopefully temporary changes to our routines here at Rossall, we can preserve those things that we truly value. Teachers teaching and students learning, being part of a community we love, and young people developing into the best possible versions of themselves. And this idea of development should be key to how we view change. Change cannot simply be seen as something to be endured, or one particular change seen as the lesser of two evils when compared to another. Change is not always good, but neither is it always bad. However, it always provides an opportunity for us. Ultimately, we all hope to change in some way, to grow and to develop. Regardless of whether one thinks that the fundamentals of human nature can be perfected, we should all try to be better people today than we were yesterday. As such, encountering change will likely present the best circumstances in which to do that, and how we react and adapt to that change will determine whether or not we are successful. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Edney, the new Director of Chapel Music, Assistant Head of Music and Deputy House Parent in Spread Eagle. Quite a long title really. Having worked as a professional musician, alongside my own studies in music and specifically choral conducting, I'm looking forward to getting to work with you all in some shape or form in and out of the classroom in the not too distant future. What instantly struck me about Rossall was the enormous potential in this already successful school, and not to mention a very impressive chapel and organ, which we're looking forward to having restored in the not too distant future. As we begin to relax COVID restrictions, I'm looking forward to getting to hear you all sing in some shape or form, whether that be in a co-curricular ensemble, congas and house singing, which I'm also looking forward to judging this week, or in the classroom where we'll work on your musicianship as well as the academic study of music. If you have any questions about joining any co-curricular ensemble or about music in general, please do come and find me and speak to me. I'd love to hear them. I'd also add, it's not a prerequisite for joining chapel choir that you be a practicing Christian. We welcome anyone of any faith or belief. All I ask is that you have a desire to sing high quality music on a regular basis. I look forward to meeting you all in the not too distant future and have a great start to the term.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. McGowan and I am the Officer Commandant of the Combined Cadet Force and also the Director of Adventure Leadership. Now I am about to retire from the UK Armed Forces, having served Her Majesty the Queen and country for the last 23 years. And in that time I've travelled to 52 countries and every hotspot you would hear about in the news over the last 2 decades. Now my passions in life are the outdoors. Mountaineering, climbing, kayaking, cleta stag, bushcraft. It doesn't really matter as long as it's outdoors. My role here is to take you and give you an experience and to take you on adventures. And that doesn't matter if it's through the CCF, through the Duke of Edinburgh or through the Adventure Leadership Academy. You're going to have fun. You're going to go on adventures. Now, if you see me knocking about, please stop me, ask me what I'm about and what adventures you can go on. I look forward to meeting you all in time. Please say hello when you see me.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Freeman and I'm a new house parent here at Maltese Cross House. I moved here from New York City and I'm an opera singer. I'm super excited to be at Rossall because I love being part of a huge community. So this seems like the perfect place for me and I'm really looking forward to a great year ahead.
Hi, my name is Mr. Beech. I am the Head of Year 11 English, Food and Drama teacher. Fun fact about myself is that I used to be a chef, which is how I managed to travel the world after I finished university, working in different restaurants around the world, which was an incredibly amazing experience. Why did I want to join Rossall? I'm actually from the area. I grew up in Thornton. I went to local primary and high schools. And I really wanted to join a school when I returned from China. I wanted to join a school that put students first and made every effort to recognise the students for the individuals that they are. The thing I'm most looking forward to is probably getting to know Year 11. It's a very strange time in their lives and a very difficult time, and I really want to be able to support them through this and their steps and beyond. So thank you very much. I look forward to working with everybody. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Wellham and I am starting at Rossall and I'm going to be the new head of Key Stage 5 Biology, so you can find me in the science department if you ever have a desire to ask any biology related questions or any animal related questions. I'm more than happy to help you. Really excited to start at Rossall. I used to work in an international school in Cologne in Germany. I worked there for 5 years and I wanted to stay in an international school but move back to England at the same time. So Rossall seemed perfect for me. Plus we're on the beach and that's really cool as well. Like I say, if you've got any burning biology questions, more than happy to help you. Lovely to meet you. Look forward to seeing you in lessons. Bye.
Hello, my name's Dr. Philip Malaband and I'm taking over as Head of Philosophy and Religious Studies. I've been teaching at a school in Oxford for the last 10 years and I'm really looking forward to sharing my passion and my interest in philosophy with as many of you as possible. I think philosophy is the most amazing subject and it will be great to share that with you. I shall also be teaching on the Human Universe course and also delivering some of the Theory of Knowledge course for the IB students. I love cross-country running. That's one of my interests outside of the classroom, and in the past I've raced cross-country races for Oxford City Athletics Club and I'm currently a member of the Vegan Runners Club, which is one of the largest running clubs in the UK. But I look forward to seeing you in the classroom and around school in due course.
Hi, I'm Mr. Yao. I'm joining Rossall School as a maths teacher and also the deputy house parent of MF. I think one of the best things about Rossall is its fantastic mix of local students and international students. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. In British Sign Language, Mr. Yao is Mr. Yao. Thank you and nice to meet you.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Payne. I'm the new Director of Studies as well as Pelican house parent and maths teacher here at Rossall. I've moved here with my wife, Mrs. Payne, who you heard from last week, and we've just come from Hong Kong, and before that we were living in Shanghai. One of the things that really attracted us to Rossall were the so many different nationalities and backgrounds of the people here, and we're really excited to get to know you over the coming weeks. We're also really excited about the access to nature and being so close to the beach. I've not had so much time yet to be able to get out and about, but I'm hoping to spend more time walking in the local area and going to the Lake District and things like that. We're really excited to get to know you and have a great day.
Hello everyone, so now that you've heard the Carmen played twice, the first time the melody and the second time with the accompaniment, We'd like you in your boarding houses, provided that you're socially distanced, to send in recordings of you singing the Carmen. The 3 best performances will get house points towards the House Music Awards, so good luck, and they will also be shown in next week's assembly as well. Good luck.